The doors to Tesla's exclusive superchargers across America are now wide open to owners of GM and Ford EVs. This move allows these drivers unusual access to Tesla's outstanding charging infrastructure. Elon Musk expressed, "People should feel comfortable buying a Tesla or a General Motors vehicle, and we will provide equal support to both." In November 2022, Tesla made a significant announcement. "In pursuit of our mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, today we are opening our EV connector design to the world. We invite charging network operators and vehicle manufacturers to put the Tesla charging connector and charge port, now called the North American Charging Standard, NACS, on their equipment and vehicles." With an astounding 17,000 charging stations, Tesla indisputably possesses the most extensive charging network in the United States. Not only are their stations faster and more reliable than most others, but they are also strategically located in safe areas near major transportation corridors. Under the newly formed agreements, starting in 2024, electric vehicles from GM and Ford will be granted access to 12,000 Tesla supercharging stations, a development that sent Tesla's stock soaring after General Motors' announcement, closely followed by Ford's similar revelation just 2 weeks earlier. In July 2022, renowned senior auto analyst John Murphy predicted a monumental shift in the EV landscape, suggesting that GM and Ford were on the verge of toppling Tesla as the leading global EV manufacturer. At that time, Tesla dominated the market with an astonishing 70% share. However, Murphy foresaw an 11% decline for Tesla by 2025 as GM and Ford entered the fray with their offerings: the Chevy Silverado EV and Ford F-150 Lightning electric trucks. This forecast was fueled by Tesla's prolonged delays in launching the highly anticipated Cybertruck and postponed plans for the next-generation Roadster. Unfazed, both Ford and GM boldly announced their intentions to seize the crown of the top EV manufacturer from Tesla within the next decade. GM aims to produce over 2 million electric vehicles in North America and China combined by 2025, while Ford predicts a global production of 2 million electric vehicles by 2026. After plunging 70% in 2022, Tesla shares are up 98% year-to-date, crushing the 12% rise in the S&P 500 index. While some Tesla automobiles owners weren't exactly happy with this idea, Tesla investors are loving the response to the stock price. Meanwhile, Wall Street is gushing at what these deals could mean for Tesla. Tesla EV owners have long relished the convenience of charging their vehicles at Tesla's expansive network of supercharging stations, a network that stands unrivaled in the United States. Unfortunately, owners of other brands' EVs have been left out in the cold. Here's the key distinction. Tesla's charging stations utilize a unique design called the North America Charging Standard, NACS, while other electric vehicles and public charging stations in the United States rely on the Combined Charging Standard, CCS, plug. Recognizing the untapped potential and the challenges posed by unreliable public charging stations, Ford and GM view this collaboration with Tesla as a strategic opportunity to bolster their EV sales. In 2022, a study conducted by the University of California revealed that nearly a quarter of San Francisco's 675 public fast chargers were non-operational, while a separate report by J.D. Power highlighted similar findings across the United States. Tesla's charging stations emerged as the most reliable option, prompting both Ford and GM to seize this opportunity. In May, Ford struck a game-changing deal with Tesla, enabling Ford EV owners to utilize Tesla superchargers through an adapter. Moreover, Ford plans to incorporate a similar charging plug design in their upcoming electric vehicles by 2025. In a bid to overcome reliability difficulties with CCS chargers, a hurdle that could impede widespread EV adoption, GM announced in 2021 that it would invest $750 million to upgrade EV charging infrastructure in the United States and Canada. However, Tesla's disclosure of the NACS standard in November last year, along with the release of its technical specifications and an invitation for charging network operators and automakers to adopt its plug design, presented a game-changing opportunity for both Ford and GM. Mary Barra, GM's CEO, expressed optimism about the deal, stating that it could potentially save the company up to $400 million from its original allocated budget for charging infrastructure upgrades. For Ford CEO Jim Farley, these agreements signify not only a significant step forward in technology, but also a new era of automotive collaboration. Technology will be the focal point of future collaborations, just as we've worked on transmissions and engines with other automakers in the past, without anyone noticing, Farley emphasized during a Bernstein conference. It's an intriguing new dynamic. GM has announced that it isn't incurring any costs under the contract. Instead, GM's customers will pay Tesla for using their charging stations. Similarly, Ford and GM EV owners will now have access to both public charging stations and Tesla superchargers. The administration of Joe Biden has given the green light for government funding of Tesla charging stations, provided they adhere to the United States fast charging requirement for electric automobiles. In a landmark move, the White House declared on June 9 that EV charging stations utilizing Tesla's standard plugs, NACS, would qualify for billions of dollars in federal subsidies, forming part of a grand plan to establish new high-speed charging stations along 7,500 miles of the nation's busiest roads. Following GM and Ford's move to give their customers access to Tesla's charging stations, several other private charging operators pledged compatibility. Australian company Tritium, a leading EV charger manufacturer, announced plans to add a connector option for the NACS. Likewise, EVgo, one of the largest non-Tesla charging networks in the US, intends to expand NACS connectors to its network, citing the moves by Ford and GM as key motivators. These announcements follow a series of similar commitments by charger manufacturers to adopt NACS connectivity. As a result, Tesla's NACS now competes with two other major charging port types, CCS and CHAdeMO, which are also offered by companies like Tritium and EVgo. For years, the industry has been aligning itself with CCS and CHAdeMO, which remain the default charging standards for competitors such as Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and others. However, if more automakers continue to offer Tesla connectivity, it could bring substantial benefits to Tesla. Analyst Dan Ives estimates that the GM and Ford deals alone could generate an additional $3 billion in revenue for Tesla in the years to come. By forging this groundbreaking partnership, GM and Ford have set out to revolutionize the charging infrastructure and elevate the overall EV experience, thereby accelerating the transition towards sustainable transportation. While Kia, Nissan, and Toyota declined to comment, Hyundai stated that it continues to evaluate its technology without any immediate announcements. Stellantis is actively working on a response. Volkswagen remains committed to the CCS standard and Electrify America, established with funds from a VW emissions cheating settlement, plans to double its charger count by 2026. With 840 stations and about 4,000 plugs already in operation, they have ambitious expansion plans. Now we turn to you. What are your thoughts on GM and Ford giving their customers access to Tesla's charging stations while handling the charges? Share your opinions in the comments section. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more related videos. Thank you for watching. Until next time.